Here is my 2 cents on the comments made by Simz Right on Brenden and Mpoomy Ledwaba being on a show where they're going to be talking about sexualia, as Sims call it, in a marriage. So apparently Mpoomy and her husband are going to be in this show, and they're going to be talking about sexualia in marriage. Now the thing was that people were said to be mad at Mpoomy and Brenden for taking part on the show, because people were saying that they're Christians, or they are so wholesome, so for them to be in a show where they're going to be talking about sexualia in this way, it's not very nice, it's very off for their brand, and so on and so forth. Now, Simz Right said some things that I do agree with. The first thing she asked was that, where do people think these kids that they have come from? Do they think they grow them in the garden? And I was also asking myself the same thing. And she also said that, because she was doing this on a live, she also commented that Brenden and Mpoomy on Mpoomy's channel have spoken about sex before, so she doesn't understand what the fuss is about. And then there was someone who commented and explained why people are possibly mad, and Simz Right I understood what that person was saying, because the person was saying that even though they have spoken about sexualia in their channel, but they spoke about it in a very wholesome way, so it's going to be different from what this show is going to be about. Basically, I'll write the name of the show in the comment section because I have forgotten it right now. Anyway, my 2 cents on the situation is that I truly don't understand when people get upset when married people talk about sexualia, because who is supposed to be having this sexualia in the first place, to understand? Because when girlfriends and boyfriends are talking about sexualia, people have no problem with it. They have no problem with it. In fact, they even get excited. They even root for them and all of that, you understand? And also, when people who are not married are having kids, they are celebrated. There's gender reveals now. There's baby showers. There's all of that. And people who are not even married at the most, or people who celebrate those things from what I see on social media. But then now I always get confused, because it's the same Christians who say that no, sexualia is meant for married people. But when married people are talking about sexualia, especially on open platforms like TV and social media, people get upset on some, how can you be talking about these things? You're Christians. And I'm like, but who is supposed to be having this sexualia in the first place? Are the people who have the right, according to what Christians say and what the Bible says, are they not supposed to be the one who are free and open about talking about these things, in order for them to be able to help each other, to help other married people, to help other people who are looking forward to marriage? Because whenever people talk about marriage these days, it's because people are getting divorced. This person cheated, this person did that. Everything you hear about marriage, it gives you the idea of, oh, it is horrible in marriage. So when couples like Mpoomy and Brenden come out here and actually talk about their sexual life as a married couple, that might be an inspiration for people who have the dream of being married but are scared to actually pray on it and work on it, because they're seeing how this marriage thing is actually going for. People are getting divorced, people are complaining about their partners, people are cheating. And sometimes when people cheat, people always go to the thing of maybe their sex is not that good. So when married couple are actually sitting down and talking about these things, it can be a good thing for other people who are married, and for other people who want to get married but are scared that, oh my God, what if my marriage doesn't go well because there is no sexuality in marriage? Because that's what most of us believe, that people who are married, they don't have sexualia, if I can put it like that. Because whenever you hear about marriages, you always hear about people complaining that, yo, it's been a month, it's been this long, my husband doesn't touch me, my husband this and that. So for me, when a Christian, especially a Christian couple, are going to be out here talking about sexualia, for me it's a good thing, because then people get to see a different side of marriage than what is always than what is always put out in front of us, because then we get to see it from a different angle and from different people as well. It's one thing to hear about sexualia from people who don't believe in God, or for people who are not that serious with their Christianity. It's different when you're going to hear it from people who are serious about their Christianity, because you can see that, because because sex is sexualia, let me say, so that I don't get trouble with YouTube, because sexualia is mostly talked about by people who are not out there with their faith. Sometimes they will talk about it in a way where you like, it seems like something that you're not supposed to be doing even if you're married, because oh my god, that is so nasty, you understand? So when it's people who are serious about their faith and you can see it from how they carry themselves, then for people like me, for example, it gives hope that okay, so I can be serious about my faith and still be able to enjoy myself with my husband. So it means that I can also be in a position where, you know what, marriage is not actually that bad. I can actually give it a try. I can actually give it a chance, and it's something that can actually I can pray for, or I can pray on, so that I can also have it. Because looking at marriages these days, like for you to be like, oh my god, I want to get married, it's a scary thing to do, because they always end up badly, and there's always bad talk when it comes to sexuality. So I'm really confused at why Christians are mad about this, because they are the ones who said sexuality is for married people. Now here are married people who are Christians coming out to talk about sexuality, and it's a bad thing. People are mad, and these are people who have kids. Where do those kids come from, Kant?